My name is Suzanne Stoddard, and today I'd like to explain what solo ads are and why they're so dangerous for beginners to use. I've created a diagram to help explain, as well as some examples to show you. So what is a solo ad? A solo ad is when you pay a vendor for the use of his or her list. They have huge lists already built up, and what you're doing is paying for the number of clicks. So if you want to have at least let's say 1,000 people click on your ad, then you would pay for 1,000 clicks, which technically costs about $1,000. The industry average is about $1 per click. Okay, so you would go to the vendor, you would buy a package that he's offering, and sometimes the more you buy, the cheaper the click. You would get your clicks and hopefully get a good number of sales from those people who click on your ad. So let's start with this diagram. Let's say that you start off with a product owner who's created some sort of done-for-you product for $9.99 or $12.99 or whatever the front-end price is, and promises a push-button traffic source. This source happens to be solo ads in this case. So he sends his members, who are all the people who purchase this product, to a site like Udemy, which is a platform of a whole bunch of vendors, solo ad vendors, or maybe he's already purchased a bunch of solo ads from a wholesaler and he's reselling them. So maybe they're being sent here. Okay, they'll often suggest you start buying packages of at least 1,000 clicks so you can make more sales. So let's say that this member bought 1,000 clicks for about $1,000. I know that seems like a lot, but that's your average price for good quality clicks, or what they call good quality clicks. They're what's called top tier packages, and they're from English-speaking countries like the US, Canada, UK, Australia, New Zealand, that type of thing. And then those clicks are sent to an opt-in page. And a lot of the time, the opt-in page that is already done for them in this product just sends the clicks back to the product, so that any subscribers that choose to buy, they're sent to the sales page, and basically these are sales of the initial product, so then the owner is making that many more sales, okay? But here's what really happens. Let's take a look at the next diagram I have for you here. Okay, I know this looks confusing, but let's walk through it step by step. Now the product owner, as this guy here, okay, he is making a commission off each solo ad that the member buys. Let's say about 15 to 25 cents per click. Okay, so if the member goes to Udemy, Udemy pays a commission to him for every order that the member puts in. Or the member may have gone to a solo ad wholesaler, bought a whole bunch of solo ads, say for 60 cents a click, and then resells them to you for 80 cents a click. So he's making 20 cents a click profit on each package you buy, okay, like each click that you buy. So if you see what's happening here, he's making loads of money off of you before you've even made any sales, okay? He's making commissions left, right, and center, hundreds and hundreds of dollars. Now let's go further down the line. Let's say that this member bought a package for $1,000 for 1,000 clicks, and the average opt-in or conversion rate is about 300 out of 1,000. Okay, so we'll use that for this example's sake. So those 300 people who opt in, okay, so these people get added to your email list. Now, out of those 300 people, let's say you get about 5 sales. I know that doesn't seem like a lot, but again, this is about the industry average. So you make 5 sales that cost $9.99. That was the front end price, okay? And look what happened here. You spent $1,000 on solo ad, minus the $49.95 you made in sales, you're at a loss already of $950.05. Now that's the biggest loss that you get. Some of these people might purchase some of the upsells, so this might be a little bit different, but there's no way the upsells are going to cost more than $950. So no matter how you look at it, you're losing money. And now look what happens here. These sales go to the product owner. So he's got 5 more sales without having to pay any advertising because he has all of his members buying the solo ads, sending them to his opt-in page, to his sales page, and he's making more sales. All right? And to top it all off, the opt-ins that you get that subscribe are usually cold, uninterested, short-term, and useless to you in the long run. Did you notice that only 5 out of the 300 are actually buyer leads? Now these 5 that purchase a product and get sent to the product owner, he gets those 5 buyer leads added to his list, but the other 250 that weren't interested are weeded out. So in the end, if there are loads of members, it's the product owner getting all the money and all the great leads, not the members. And they know this. They don't care about you. They're just making money. So now can you see why solo ads are so dangerous for newbies? Your list is basically made up of cold traffic who don't know who you are. And sometimes they even come from automated bots or from people who are paid to click on these ads, okay? These aren't people who found you and opted in by choice because they connected with you in some way or they like you. They really don't know you from a hole in the ground. So these subscribers who are on your list, well, guess what? You end up paying more money for a large list with your autoresponder, and they're useless. So let's take a look at what you would pay for an autoresponder. An autoresponder is a service that collects all the email addresses for you, okay? And this is GetResponse. This is the service that I use for my business. They are very good. You get a 30-day free trial, and there's a cost per package after that trial. So most beginners will start with the basic package. And for a list size up to 1,000 people, you're paying about $15 a month. And as you see, as your list grows, so let's say you are getting close to the 2,500 mark, you're paying $25 a month, and it goes up from there, okay? And the one thing you have to consider is if you're buying solo ads, you will build your list quickly, but look at how quickly your monthly cost will go up for you as well. And if all of the leads on your list, or at least the majority of them, are not truly targeted and they're just kind of sitting there on your list, well, it's costing you money, but they're useless leads. You're not getting any other profit out of them, okay? They're not buying anything from you. So when you look at it that way, it's not really a good business model, is it? So in the long run, many of them unsubscribe, okay? And so you'll have to continually feed your list with more solo ads to keep it fresh and growing. It's really all a wicked circle that can cost you thousands of dollars for poor leads. I know you're told by these internet gurus here that this is the best way to get targeted leads in whatever niche you choose, but it's not true. And you saw why in this example. The only ones that are truly benefiting are the gurus themselves. And the more times people believe and buy solo ads, the longer they'll continue to mislead people. They're making the big bucks while you're losing the big bucks. Let's look at Facebook for some testimonials. Okay, here we are on a group. This is a group called Solo Ads Testimonials with Sales. And you can come and see what people have been doing with their click ads. This particular person bought 300 clicks. Okay, now he doesn't tell us how many sales he made, but he spent about $300, made a few sales, And my guess is he's not telling the amount of sales because he probably only made one or two, and I doubt if he made his money back. All right. This particular fella bought 500 clicks, cost about $500. His opt-in rate was pretty good, so he probably got over 250 people on his email list. But look at that, it's not too targeted, is it? He only made 10 front-end sales, and he said 2 massive upsales. So he spent about $500, and he made about $80 up front and 2 massive upsells. Let's say they're $100 each. So that's about $280 in sales. From the $500 that he spent to begin with, he's still losing money. All right, let's look at this guy here. He bought 400 clicks, received 467. A lot of vendors will give you more than you pay for in hopes that you'll return to them. So he spent about $400. He only got 3 front-end sales and 1 upsell. And these products are usually, the cheap ones that you see being promoted online. They're those $10 or $20 products that have done-for-you pages. But notice they're not selling very much. Okay, they're out of 467 clicks. He only got 3 sales. So the opt-in rates may look great, but they're all duds. There's really only 3 buyer leads here. Let's look at this group on Facebook. Okay, this is a group by a guru who promotes solo ads. And I've scrolled through to find some screenshots for you. This poor fellow here, he's very happy. He's got 145 subscribers on his list so far. And he's made 6 sales totaling $64.43. Now I know he's excited about these sales, but he isn't looking at the big picture. He doesn't tell us how much he's spending on solo ads. But let's work backwards, okay? If the 145 subs is about a 30% opt-in rate, then he would have had to have spent at least 483 clicks. Okay, so that's about $480. And out of that 480 clicks, he got 145 subscribers. It may not have been all at once, but I'm using a one-time thing here, for example. Out of those 145 subscribers, he got only 6 sales. So that means that he only truly had 6 targeted buyer leads out of the 145. And to top it off, he's lost $415.57 so far. So I'm not quite sure how that's good news. But the problem is they're being taught to build a huge list that they say they can remarket to. But it's not. That list is primarily made up of uninterested leads, and they're just duds, costing you money for your autoresponder, like I showed you before. Now further down, I came across someone who shared their subscriber total screenshot from Aweber, and it was over 10,000 subscribers. So that means that he spent about $10,000 on solo ads, and he showed sales of maybe $2,000 in total. So this is why it's so dangerous for newbies to use solo ads. Let's go back to this first group here again. Now you may notice, let me shrink this back down here a little bit, that many of these people are repeat buyers. Okay, here's one, and here he is again. Okay, and you'd have to scroll through to see, but a lot of the time you'll see these people buying time and time again from these different buyers. Okay, look at this Robert Harrison. He bought from 2 different vendors at 2 different times. Now I suspect that these are solo ad vendors themselves growing their own lists. Okay, now think about this for a minute. These solo ad lists are usually built the same way yours is. Let's go back to my example here. I have something to show you. I know this looks like a mess, but let me explain. So let's say these are all solo ad vendors, all these purple spots here. Okay, they turn to all the other vendors and they buy solo ad packages. and they get a certain percentage of opt-ins, and then these opt-ins are growing their own lists, okay? Then they turn around and they sell these packages to people like you for a profit. Now imagine if Jane Doe was on this list here, okay? Now 4 other vendors have come to this vendor to purchase. So now what do you think has happened? This person has probably ended up on at least 4 other lists. So she's now on 5 email lists. So how fresh can these lists be, right? This is what I mean about lists being reused, abused, and useless in the long run. The same names are getting hounded by more and more emails in their inbox, and they either unsubscribe, ignore them, or possibly they're non-existent emails just put there by bots. So I hope I've explained this well for you and showed you why I believe solo ads are dangerous for beginners. To be totally honest, they're not great for any level of experience. The best way to build an email list is by honest and ethical means. You want people to opt in because they're truly interested in being there. That way they learn to trust you and will purchase your promotions for years to come. If you would like to learn how to earn leads the free way, the way I do, then please click on the link I have for you below this video. This is the exact way that I make money online, and it's with free traffic. So until next time, cheers!